Did you know? Bears use natural butt plugs to hibernate through the winter without pooping themselves. During hibernation, a bear's digestive system slows down dramatically. Think of it like their body hitting the pause button. As their metabolism drops, bears start forming a natural plug in their intestines. Yep, you heard that right, a plug made of mucus and undigested food. This fecal plug prevents waste from passing through while they're in their deep winter slumber. It's like nature's very own bear butt plug. But don't worry, it's all part of their amazing survival strategy. When spring rolls around and the bears wake up, they expel this plug along with any accumulated waste. So no winter bathroom breaks required. Next time you think bears have it easy, remember, they've got nature's most unusual solution to staying clean during hibernation. Who knew surviving the winter could be so plugged up? Did you know? Birds have hollow bones for storing oxygen and breathing. Most people think birds have hollow bones just to be light for flight, but there's more to it. These hollow bones are actually part of a bird's supercharged respiratory system. Here's the scoop. Birds have these nifty air sacs connected to their lungs, but that's not all. The air sacs extend into their hollow bones, creating a high-efficiency oxygen exchange system. Think of it like a turbo boost for breathing. And it gets cooler. Birds have unidirectional airflow. This means fresh air is always flowing through their lungs, even when they exhale. Imagine running a marathon and never running out of breath. So, next time you see a bird soaring high, remember? It's not just about being lightweight. Those hollow bones are their secret weapon for staying supercharged with oxygen. Did you know? Animals and other creatures each perceive time differently. So what's the deal with animals and time? It all comes down to something called the critical flicker fusion frequency, or CFF. Think of CFF as the rate at which a flickering light appears to be steady. Animals with a high CFF, like dragonflies and some birds, are basically living in the Matrix. They see the world in super high-def slow motion. This helps them catch fast-moving prey or dodge predators like action heroes. On the flip side, animals like elephants have a lower CFF. They see time a bit more like a slow and steady nature documentary. This suits their slower pace and lifestyle perfectly. Now, it's tricky to measure exactly how animals experience time, but research suggests that those with higher CFFs might feel like time is slowing down, while those with lower CFFs live life in fast forward. It's a complex topic and we're just scratching the surface, but isn't it fascinating to think about how differently our furry and feathered friends experience the world? Did you know? No one has found a centipede with exactly 100 legs. Despite what their name suggests, centipedes never have exactly 100 legs. I know, it's a bit of a misnomer. The term centipede literally means 100-footed, but these many-legged marvels always have an odd number of leg pairs. Here's the quirky bit. Centipedes add segments and legs as they grow, and each new segment comes with a pair of legs. This means they can have anywhere from 15 to a whopping 177 pairs of legs, but never exactly 100. So next time you spot a centipede scuttling by, remember, it's more of a multi-legged wonder than a 100-footer. Nature, you've done it again. And there you have it. The science behind why centipedes break the rules of their own name. Pretty fascinating, right? Did you know? During the Cold War, the US government, including the CIA, invested significant resources into researching paranormal phenomena. During the Cold War, the CIA was on a quest, but not just any quest. They wanted to know if telepathy, fortune-telling, and even magic could be military weapons. They called in magicians, mystics, and seers to test their superpowers. One of the most famous projects was called Project Stargate. From the 70s to the 90s, they tested people who claimed they could see things miles away without leaving their chair. These folks would sit in a room and try to describe remote locations without any sensory input. Spoiler alert, they didn't exactly nail it. The results? Well, let's just say the findings were inconclusive. But hey, it's a fascinating mix of science, intelligence, and a dash of the paranormal. So next time you think of the CIA, remember, they weren't just about spies and gadgets. They were also into a little bit of psychic action. Did you know? Before toilet paper was invented, the people of the USA used corn cobs. Before toilet paper, Americans had to get creative. And by creative, I mean they used corn cobs for personal hygiene. Yep, you heard that right. Corn cobs. Back in the 18th and 19th centuries, especially in rural areas, corn cobs were the go-to solution. Imagine the rustic charm of grabbing a corn cob instead of a soft, fluffy roll of TP. But corn cobs weren't the only option. People also used newspapers, magazines, and even corn husks. Can you say, ouch? It wasn't until the mid-19th century that commercially produced toilet paper became available, and boy was that a game changer. So next time you reach for that roll of modern comfort, give a little nod of thanks to the inventors of toilet paper. Because let's be real, corn cobs belong in the field, not the bathroom. Did you know? Crows have extremely good memory. They can even get their relatives to recognize people that they've already recognized. Crows are like the brainiacs of the bird world. They can recognize human faces. Yep, if you've ever fed one, they remember you. And if you've ever annoyed one, well, they remember that too. But here's the kicker, they tell their friends and family all about you. Imagine a whole murder of crows giving you the stink eye. These feathered geniuses are also tool users. They can craft and use tools to solve problems. Talk about resourceful. They even share tips on the best food spots and potential dangers. And get this, their memory isn't just for the short term. Crows can remember specific humans for years, so if a crow holds a grudge, it's not just a phase. In short, crows are the Einsteins of the avian world. So, next time you see a crow, give it a smile. You never know when you might need to get on their good side. Did you know? The Earth's rotation is slowing down and we soon will have more than 24 hours in a day. Yep, you heard that right. Thanks to the moon's gravitational pull, Earth's spin is gradually decelerating. Picture it like cosmic brakes. Tidal friction is the culprit here. But don't start planning your 25-hour day just yet. This change is happening at a snail's pace. We're talking milliseconds per century. So, unless you're planning to live for millions of years, you probably won't notice a thing. However, we do have a way to keep our clocks in sync with this slowpoke spin. Introducing leap seconds. These tiny time tweaks ensure our timekeeping stays spot on. So, next time you're watching the clock, remember, Earth's rotation might be slowing down, but time waits for no one. Enjoy your 24 hours, folks. Did you know? The Eiffel Tower can be 15 centimeters taller during the summer. So, here's the deal. During those sizzling summer months, the Eiffel Tower actually grows. Yup, it can stretch up to 15 centimeters taller. How? It's all thanks to thermal expansion. When the temperature rises, the iron in the tower absorbs that juicy heat energy. The iron atoms start to get all excited, vibrating like they're at a rock concert. This makes the metal expand, and voila, the tower gets a little taller. Pretty wild, right? Engineers knew this would happen when they designed it, so they made sure the tower could handle the extra height without any drama. It's a neat reminder that even the most iconic structures have to play by the rules of physics. So next time you're in Paris during summer, don't forget to look up and give a nod to the Eiffel Tower. It's just showing off its summer bod. Did you know? Your immune system could make you blind. Your eyes are what scientists call immune privileged. Sounds fancy, right? It just means they've got a special immune environment that stops your body's immune system from going full Hulk on them. Why? Because eyes are exposed to all sorts of irritants and pathogens daily. If your immune system went all out, you'd be dealing with constant inflammation and damage. Not fun. But there's a twist. If something compromises this immune privilege, like an injury or an autoimmune disease, your immune system might get a bit confused. Suddenly it sees your eye tissues as enemies and starts attacking. This can lead to conditions like uveitis, causing inflammation and potentially vision loss. Scary, huh? So no, your body's not out to get your eyes on purpose. But it does highlight how crucial balance is in your immune system, protecting you without going overboard. Pretty neat, don't you think? Did you know? Male giraffes will reach a female's urinary stream and taste it to determine if she's ready to mate. Male giraffes have a quirky way of checking if a female's ready to mate. They literally use their heads. First, they give the female a little nudge or sometimes a kick to get her to urinate. Romantic, right? Then it's showtime. The male giraffe swings his long neck down and takes a sip. Yep, you heard that right, he tastes her pee. But wait, there's more. This isn't just for kicks. The male curls his upper lip in what's called a flamen response, exposing a special organ in his mouth. This organ detects pheromones in the urine that tell him if she's in the mood for love. If the pheromones give the green light, it's game on. So next time you think your dating life is complicated, just remember the giraffes. Love truly works in mysterious and sometimes messy ways. Did you know? The average human heart can fill more than one Olympic-sized swimming pools over a lifetime. Yep, you heard that right. Millions of gallons of blood. Let's put that into perspective. Imagine your heart as a tiny, tireless pump. Day in and day out, without ever taking a break, it's pushing blood through your body. That's like running a marathon non-stop for decades. And it does all of this without us even thinking about it. No heart, start pumping reminders needed. It's the ultimate marathon runner, clocking in around 100,000 beats per day. So next time you feel your heart racing, give it a mental high five. It's been working hard your entire life, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Remember, your heart is not just a part of you, it's a superhero in your chest, keeping you alive and kicking. Did you know? Hippo sweat is pink. Well, it's not technically sweat. This pink stuff is a secretion from special glands in their skin, and it's called hyposudoric acid. Now, why pink? No, they're not blushing. This pigment gives them their cool, rosy glow. And it's not blood, folks. Here's the really cool part. This secretion acts like a natural sunscreen. That's right, these hefty creatures have built-in SPF. Plus, it's antibacterial, keeping their skin fresh and healthy. But wait, there's more. It also helps hippos regulate their body temperature, especially when they're lounging out of the water. Talk about an all-in-one skincare routine. So, while it might look a bit strange, this pink secretion is essential for hippos to thrive in their environment. Next time you see a pink-tinged hippo, you'll know it's not just fashion, it's fantastic science. Did you know? Printer ink can be more expensive than human blood. But why? First, we have specialized technology. Those tiny ink droplets are a complex chemical marvel, requiring some seriously fancy manufacturing. Next, intellectual property. Ink formulas are often patented, meaning manufacturers can charge a premium. Think of it as their secret recipe. And finally, the business model. Printer companies often sell printers at a loss and make a killing on ink cartridges. It's like buying a cheap razor, but paying through the nose for blades. So next time you're cursing that low ink warning, remember, you're not just paying for colored water. You're paying for innovation, patents, and a business strategy as sharp as a paper cut. Crazy, right? Just like comparing ink to blood. Did you know? Kelp are not plants? Kelp is actually a type of brown algae. That's right, algae. They're part of a quirky group called heterokonts. Like plants, animals, and fungi, kelp are eukaryotes, which means their cells have a nucleus. Fancy, huh? But here's the kicker. Kelp can photosynthesize, turning sunlight into energy just like plants. Yet they don't have roots, stems, or leaves. Instead, they've got holdfasts for anchoring, stipes for support, and blades for photosynthesis. Talk about unique. Kelp forests are super important too. They're like underwater jungles, providing food and shelter for loads of marine life. And humans love kelp too. It's in food, fertilizers, and even some medications. Who knew, right? So next time you see kelp, remember, it's not just seaweed, it's a fascinating algae with its own cool biology. Now that's something to seriously think about. Did you know? LEDs typically last significantly longer than traditional incandescent light bulbs. First up, incandescent bulbs. They give you about 1,000 hours of glow. Now that's like watching 500 movies back to back. Not bad, right? But wait for it. Enter LEDs. These bad boys can last from 25,000 to 50,000 hours or more. That's like binge watching 25,000 episodes of your favorite show. Why do LEDs last longer? Well, LEDs use light-emitting diodes, which are way more efficient than those old-school filaments in incandescent bulbs. Plus, they generate less heat, so they're not burning themselves out as fast. So, an LED bulb used for just 3 hours a day could keep shining for 20 years or more. That's enough time to teach your dog to fetch snacks. Switching to LEDs means fewer replacements, more savings, and a greener planet. So, what are you waiting for? Make the switch and light up your life, literally. Did you know? The average life expectancy figure accounts for deaths at all ages. Let's break it down. The average life expectancy is a number that sums up the chances of death at all ages. But here's the kicker. The longer you live, the better your chances of exceeding that average. It's like a game of survival. Now, your chances of living beyond the average aren't just about age. They're influenced by your lifestyle, genetics, and healthcare. So keep eating those veggies and taking those walks. Here's an interesting tidbit. The risk of dying in your first year of life is roughly similar to your chances of dying at any age in your 60s. Yep, that's right. As we get older, the risk of age-related health issues climbs, making those golden years a bit trickier. In a nutshell, while average life expectancy gives us a statistical snapshot, your personal odds are shaped by many factors. So, stay active, stay healthy, and keep defying those averages. Did you know? Mattress get heavier over time because it absorbed the sweat, dead skin cells, and dust mites. Yes, the same dust mites that love feasting on your skin cells. Here's the breakdown. Humans sweat, especially at night. This moisture seeps into the mattress, adding to its weight. Then there are dead skin cells. We shed them constantly and they love hiding in the crevices of your mattress. And where there are skin cells, dust mites follow, multiplying and contributing to the weight gain. Gross, right? But don't worry, you can fight back. Regularly clean your bedding in hot water. Vacuum your mattress at least twice a year. Use a mattress protector to fend off spills and allergens. And don't forget to rotate your mattress to keep it in top shape. By following these tips, you'll keep your mattress lighter and your sleep environment healthier. Sleep tight, and don't let the dust mites bite. Did you know? Some people don't hear their own voice in their head. Some of us have a constant chatter going on in our minds, words buzzing like bees. But guess what? Not everyone thinks like that. For a lot of people, thoughts aren't in words at all. They might see vivid pictures, feel a rush of emotions, or even sense colors and textures. Imagine trying to remember your grocery list by visualizing a painting or feeling the texture of each fruit. Kinda cool, huh? Scientists call this cognitive diversity. It's a fancy way of saying our brains work in wonderfully different ways. So, next time you're lost in thought, remember, your brain might be having a silent movie while someone else's is reading a novel. Embrace the uniqueness of how we all process the world. After all, it's what makes human brains so fascinating. Did you know? Paint are really heavy. NASA once painted their shuttle tanks white. Here's why they stopped. So, NASA's first 2 space shuttles had these snazzy white external tanks. Why white? To protect the foam insulation from UV radiation. But guess what? That paint job added a whopping 600 pounds to the tank. That's like strapping a grand piano to a rocket. Turns out the foam wasn't really affected by UV light. So NASA ditched the paint to save weight and fuel. From then on, the tanks rocked their natural orange look. This small change made the launches way more efficient. Sure, there were some concerns about the foam and UV radiation over time, but hey, NASA's all about making smart choices for space travel. Next time you see those iconic orange tanks, you'll know they're not just a fashion statement. They're a smart move by NASA to get us closer to the stars. Pretty cool, right? Did you know? Shooting pigeons was made a crime in the UK during World War I. In 1916, the Defense of the Realm Act was amended to make shooting pigeons illegal. Why? Because these feathered friends were the unsung heroes of wartime communication. Carrier pigeons were like the Wi-Fi of the trenches, delivering crucial messages between soldiers and headquarters. With radios often unreliable and telegraph lines easily cut, these birds were vital to the war effort. One pigeon named Sher Ami even saved nearly 200 soldiers by delivering a message under fire. Impressive, right? So shooting a pigeon wasn't just bad aim, it could disrupt military operations and endanger lives. This quirky law ensured that our avian allies stayed safe, keeping the lines of communication open during some of the darkest days. So next time you see a pigeon, give it a little nod of respect. You never know what secrets it might be carrying. Did you know? Pillbugs are crustaceans. You thought pillbugs were just bugs, but they're actually tiny relatives of crabs. Yep, that's right. Pillbugs, those little critters you find under rocks, are actually crustaceans, just like crabs and lobsters. And here's why they love hanging out in damp places. These tiny guys have gills. Just like their ocean cousins, they need moisture to breathe. That's why you'll always find them in dark, humid spots like basements, gardens, or under logs. So next time you see a pillbug, give it a little salute. You're looking at a miniature land-dwelling crustacean. Pretty cool, huh? Remember, these tiny adventurers are more than just bugs. They're a fascinating link to the underwater world. Did you know? Owner of Pringle was buried in one. Meet Frederick Bauer, the genius behind the iconic Pringles can. You know, the one that's perfect for stacking chips and frustratingly hard to reach into when you get to the bottom. Well, Frederick was so proud of his invention that he made a rather unique request for his final resting place. He asked to be buried in a Pringles can. Yep, you heard that right. When he passed away in 2008, his family honored his wish and chose an original flavor Pringles can to hold his ashes. It's a testament to his quirky sense of humor and love for his creation. I mean, you've got to admire a guy who sticks to his chips. So next time you pop open a Pringles can, give a nod to Frederick Bauer, the man who took his love for snacks to a whole new level. Rest in chips, Frederick. Did you know? People used to use hollowed human skulls for cups and bowls in ancient England. Ever thought about using a skull for your morning brew? Archaeologists have uncovered a spine-chilling fact from Gough's cave in Somerset, England. Around 14,700 years ago, ancient Britons were turning human skulls into cups and bowls. These skull cups weren't haphazardly made. They were meticulously crafted, cleaned of tissue, and shaped into perfect drinking vessels. Now you might wonder, why on earth would anyone do this? Well, the exact reasons remain a bit of a mystery, but it's believed to be tied to cultural and spiritual beliefs of the time. Maybe they thought it connected them to their ancestors, or perhaps it was part of some ancient ritual. And guess what? This practice wasn't exclusive to ancient Britain. Cultures across the globe have used skulls in similar ways, often linked to rituals, power, or honoring the dead. So, next time you sip from your favorite mug, just remember, it could be weirder. Did you know? Vietnamese worship whales and dolphins. When a whale or dolphin washes ashore in Vietnam, it's not just a sad sight, it's a call for a grand ceremony. These majestic creatures, fondly called Saong or Lord Fish, are seen as benevolent spirits guarding fishermen and coastal communities. You could say they're the ultimate maritime bodyguards. Locals don't just leave these ocean giants to the tides, they organize a full-on funeral procession, complete with Buddhist or Taoist rituals. Think of it like the marine version of a state funeral. The bones are often preserved and displayed in temples, a permanent tribute to their oceanic protectors. This heartfelt practice is woven into the fabric of Vietnamese culture, highlighting a profound bond between the people and the sea. It's a beautiful reminder of the importance of respecting and preserving our marine ecosystems. So next time you think of Vietnam, remember, they don't just ride the waves, they honor them. Did you know? Washing your clothes less frequently can extend their life. Washing less often can actually reduce wear and tear. And let's not forget fabric integrity. Delicate fabrics like wool and silk can stay stronger and last longer when they're not constantly in the wash. Plus, your favorite colors? They'll stay vibrant for longer. Washing less often means those dyes won't fade as quickly. Oh, and here's the cherry on top. Less washing means you save heaps of water and energy, which is a win for Mother Earth. So, how do you keep your clothes fresh without frequent washing? Easy. Spot clean minor stains, air them out between wears, and even pop them in the freezer to kill bacteria and banish odors. Choose breathable fabrics, and when you do wash, go for gentle cycles and cold water. By following these tips, you can keep your wardrobe looking sharp, save money, and do your bit for the environment. Did you know? Whales evolved to live on land, decided they didn't like it, and went back. Millions of years ago, whales were land-dwelling mammals, kinda like cows with a beach house. These ancient creatures, called pachycetids, had 4 legs and hoofs. But as the climate changed, they got a taste for the water. Over time, their legs transformed into flippers, their nostrils moved to the top of their heads, making blowholes, and their bodies became streamlined for swimming. Think of it as nature's extreme makeover. Fast forward millions of years and voila! We have the majestic, fully aquatic whales we know today. They didn't exactly pack their bags and say, "See you later, land." It was all thanks to natural selection and the perks of an ocean lifestyle. So next time you see a whale, just remember they're living proof that sometimes you just gotta follow the tide. Did you know? Baby hearts bypass lungs. Ever wondered how a baby's heart works before birth? When a baby is in the womb, its lungs have no air to breathe. So, 2 of the heart's chambers take a break. The foramen ovale and ductus arteriosus are the MVPs here. The foramen ovale is a nifty little hole between the right and left atria, letting oxygenated blood skip the lungs. Meanwhile, the ductus arteriosus connects the pulmonary artery to the aorta, sending blood straight to the body. But here's the kicker. Once the baby takes its first breath, these structures close up shop, and the heart starts working like an adult's. If they don't close properly, it can lead to serious heart issues. Isn't the human body just wild? Like and subscribe if you learned something new today.